Hello. Um, so, recently I've been obviously making these videos talking about recovery and just things I've learned along the way. Oof. Bald spot's getting worse, huh? Anyway, I recently celebrated 14 months a couple days back, 21st actually. 14 months in a row. uh, and sorry if there's a lot of background noise. I'm in my car. It's cold. Not quite as cold as it was. Actually, funny little anecdote, side note. The other night it was about -4, I think. And I had just gotten out of the shower and I came outside to smoke. And in the time it took me to finish a half a cigarette, my hair had frozen. That was fun. Anyway, so I recently commented on a particular video person that I watch on a regular basis, and just said that I had 14 months, and the amount of responses I got really surprised me. Like, genuinely was like, wow, okay. And it wasn't just the congratulations, great job, that kind of stuff, the accolades or validation. I didn't post it for that reason. In 12-step programs in a recovery environment, there's a thing called promises, and at one point you will get to a point where you're past, I don't remember the exact phrasing, but basically you won't shut the door on it. Pretty much what it comes down to is this: yes, I'm an addict in recovery. I've been an addict on and off for 20 years. About in the last 20 years, with the amount of time I have now, I've gotten just over 9.25 years interrupted sobriety, something like that. My longest stretch was about 4.5 years. And of course, some people will debate that because I had a very, very small lapse in the middle of that lasted literally about a week. Hardcore people would tell me I needed to start over. But as I've stated in other videos, recovery is progressive, just like addiction. You never really start over. You kind of pick up where you left off, just like addiction. For me, a full-blown relapse is when not just the behavior patterns or the substance abuse comes back, but the thinking goes back, reverts back. And I'll do another video on that. Anyway, the point was, I made just a very quick little blurb because I'm not embarrassed by my past, nor am I ashamed of it. It is what it is, Am I perfect? By no means. Have I made mistakes? Absolutely. Almost daily, But that's how we learn. It's as simple as that. You don't learn and grow without making a mistake. Somebody's walking out here. I have no idea who this is. Oh, Tyrese. Anyway, so there was a pretty big outpouring replies to my comment. Not a tremendous amount. I think it was 20 or 21 or something like that. But the ones that really kind of caught me by surprise were the ones where me just stating what I don't even consider to be that miraculous of an accomplishment, even though it is, having 14 months of sobriety now. Yeah, it was the people that it gave them encouragement and inspiration. And that's what makes it worth it, And that's what they mean by sharing your hope, strength, and experiences. You never know what one little sentence, 5 words, can mean to a person and how it can completely change them. You know, years ago I lived in a different city and I was homeless for a little while. And I remember several different times people actually coming up and asking if they could pray for me. Which at the time I was like, oh, whatever, if you're going to give me $1, sure. Yeah, I was that kind of an addict. But I distinctly remember this one woman. She prayed for me, and then she stopped and she looked at me and she said, someday you're going to have a message for a lot of people. And I kind of looked at her like, what the hell are you talking about? You're crazy. And I guess it's coming to pass. I don't know. It's very strange how the world works sometimes. I just met a guy at the gas station. He was counting change for a lottery ticket or something. I said, here, man. I just handed him $1. I'm like, it's $1, whatever. Easy come, easy go. And we started talking. I told him, the place I'm at and everything. And he's elderly. And he said he was in his 60s or something, but really irrelevant. And talked about how he's been thinking on and off about, getting sober. And so I told him a little bit about the place and everything. And whether or not he actually looks it up and comes here is, whatever. The seed has been planted is the point. I gave him the quick 5-minute rundown of my story, how I came here, how it helped me, so forth and so on. And he walked away encouraged and with a smile on his face. The point is a lot of times what seems like not that great of an accomplishment to ourselves can mean all the world to someone else. Just because you don't think of yourself as necessarily a worthy part of society or the group of people you're in or anything like that, doesn't mean you aren't. It's your own perception, your own insecurities, your own fears, doubts. Your story and your testimony can and will oftentimes be inspirational and will give someone else the strength they need to make the change and grow. So don't ever be afraid or embarrassed to tell your story. Doesn't mean it will always make an impact, but I think you'll be generally surprised at how often it does and when it does.